chances are that if you're watching this, you're trying to do too much too soon, especially when it comes to your career. So when I was younger, I would always try and do so many things at once, and I would always try and do the thing that I thought would make me the most money the fastest. So first, I started learning to code. I started learning about dropshipping, and I wanted to start an e-commerce store. And while I was doing that, I was learning marketing, I was learning copywriting, I was learning Facebook ads. You know that phase in your life where you're watching those 10 best side hustles of 2022. And so then I tried to make a meme page. Did so many things in the last few years. And I always knew that I was going to come back to this one thing. But I was just so money hungry. And I wanted to get money as soon as possible that I never stuck to anything. I never stuck to learning to code all of this time. If my focus was 100% on just learning to code for the last 4 years, I would have been so much better of a programmer than I am now. If I started a YouTube channel back when I wanted to start it, which was about 3 years ago, I would have been so much bigger now, and I would have probably been making money by now. I would have probably had freelance clients by now. I would have probably had more experience, which could have led to me having a better portfolio to get a job in the future. I don't really have any regrets because it has taught me a lot, but I think that if you have something, especially if you are some kind of knowledge worker, if you have to use your brain for whatever you're doing, you should stick to that one thing. So whether that's email marketing, whether that's copywriting, whether that's web development, anything, content creation, stick to that one thing and work on it. Work on it with monastic focus for a couple of years. I'm not just gonna say a couple of months because that's not enough time to see significant results with anything worthwhile, really. You're most likely not going to change your life in 6 months. And I know you do see this on YouTube where they did something for 6 months and then they got a job, learned to code for 3 months and then they got a job or something. But those people are outliers most of the time. You're not going to learn to code in 3 months and then get a job. Most likely, it's going to take you a year and it's going to take you hundreds of interviews before you actually get a job because chances are you're not that great, to be honest. Like majority of you guys watching this are probably not that great, and I might have offended you, I might have hurt your ego, but it's true, especially if you're not going to be focusing on something. Because think of it like this, think of it as having a slice of bread. Think of this as a slice of bread and you have peanut butter. Now when you focus on one thing, you are basically like taking the knife and then spreading the peanut butter just here in the middle, like just this part, and it becomes so much thicker, and that part becomes so much more enjoyable, I guess, because there's more peanut butter there. But that's basically your skill set. You become so good at this thing because you concentrate on just this part here. But once you start focusing on more things, you're basically spreading yourself out too thin on the bread, and then the bread tastes like nothing, basically. So don't spread yourself out too thin, but rather have it thicker and have like a wider radius in a way. So what I would suggest is become good at like two or three skills. So for example, coding, marketing, and sales. Become like really good at those three things, like better than the average person. And then if you want to do other things, you can be like a generalist in all of those things. You can be average or below average in those things. But just focus on these three things, two or three main skill sets, and that'll get you so much further in life than if you just focus on one thing, like coding, for example. Of course, you could get like a good job and all that. If you want to be a business owner, if you want to be an entrepreneur one day, you're going to need more than one skill set. And marketing and sales is usually something that works really well with coding. And then if you have other interests, learn about it, but don't focus too much of your time on it. If it gets in the way of your main skill sets, then stop doing it or do way less of it. Because I wish I would have done this so much sooner. And I just want to make this video for my younger self, basically. Anyone that's in the same position that my younger self was in. I know that you want money desperately. You want to create a better life for yourself. But anything that's really good, that's going to be like life changing for yourself, is going to take time to achieve. So whether that be with your job, whether that be with your business, whether that be with anything really, with your body. And I think in general, just trying to focus on as few things as possible is always the thing that you should opt in to do. If you have some kind of skill set or skill sets that you are working on, choose at most three of them. Two is like the sweet spot, and then get really good at that, and then just supplement it with other things. The other things should just complement it basically, and work on that for about a year, and just see how much more your life improves after doing so. So if you need help deciding what skill sets you should develop, or just help with learning to code, or just any kind of advice on self-improvement or so, I do like 30-minute free coaching calls. You can just book a date. There's a link that you can click. It'll be the first link in the description. So leave a like on this video if it resonated with you and if you found it helpful, and subscribe if you want to see more content from me, and you'll see me in the next one.